Hello everyone, we are group 8 and we are presenting Rosemarie, Parse and Kari Martinsen. Our group members are Angela, Bigan, Megana and I, Vida. I will start with Rosemarie Parse. The name of theory is Human Becoming Theory, and her background is Rosemarie received her Bachelor of Science in Nursing from Petersburg University and then continued to earn her master degree in nursing and PhD from the same school. A member of the faculty of the University of Petersburg and professor and coordinator of the Center for Nursing Research at Hunter College, New York. She currently holds the Marcella Niehoff Chair at Loyola University located in Chicago. The theory was originally named Man Living Health in 1981 and changed by Parse to Human Becoming. Dr. Parse has received several honors. She has published 9 books and more than 100 articles and editors about nursing. And now continue with major concept of the theory.
The major concept of the theory, philosophical underpinnings for Rosemarie Parse, human theory. I will start with a quote by Rosemarie Parse, Human Theory. So the quote is the assumptions and principle of human becoming incarnate a deep concern for the delicate sentiments of being human and show a proud recognition of human freedom and dignity. The three principles that constitute the human becoming, there are 3 main themes for that. So the 3 main themes are the structuring meaning, configuring rhythmical, contrascending. The structuring meaning is the imaging and valuing of language. The configuring rhythmical is of relating and revealing, concealing and enabling, limiting, of connecting, separating. Transcending is powering and originating, of transforming. The principle 1 proposes that person structure or choose the meaning of the realities, and this choosing to happens with explicit tacit knowing. Sometimes questions are not answerable because people may not know why they think or feel one way or another. The first principles posits that the way people see the world, the imaging of it is their reality, and they create this reality in the ways they move and stay still. When people language the realities, they also language the value and priorities and meanings. The first principle has 3 concepts. The 3 concepts are imaging, valuing, and languaging. Imaging is an individual's view of the reality. It is shaping of personal knowledge in explicit and tacit ways. Some knowing is a reflective, deliberate process, while other knowing is pre-reflective and conscious. Valuing is the second concept and is about how persons confirm and do not confirm beliefs in light of a personal perspective or worldview. Values reflect what is important in life to a person or a family. Languaging is the paradoxes of language speaking, being silent, and moving, being still. Language is a concept that relates to how humans symbolizes and express their image, realities, and their value priorities. The second principle is about principle of human becoming, is configuring rhythmical pattern of relating, is the revealing concealing, the enabling limiting, and connecting separating. The revealing concealing is the first concept of the second principle. The paradox linked with revealing concealing is disclosing, not disclosing. It is the way person disclose and keep hidden. The second concept is enabling, limiting. It is linked with the paradox, potentiating, restricting, enabling, limiting represents the potential and opportunities that surface with the restrictions and obstacles of everyday life. The third concept is connecting, separating. This concept relates to the ways person can create patterns of connecting and separating with other people and projects. The patterns created reveal value priorities. Connecting, separating is about aloneness and the ways people separate from some to join with others. The third principle is about human becoming theory. The meaning of this principle is that persons continuously change and unfold in life as they engage with and choose from infinite possibilities about how to be, what attitude or approach to have, whom to relate with, and what interests or concerns to explore. Their choices reflect the person's ways of moving and changing in the process of becoming. The three concepts of these principles are powering, originating, and transforming. Powering is the first concept of the third principle. It is connected with the paradoxes, pushing, resisting, affirming, not affirming, and being non-being. Powering is a concept that conveys meaning about struggle and life and the will to go on despite hardship and threat. Originating is the second concept of principle 3. It is about human uniqueness and holds the following two paradoxes: a conforming, not conforming, and certainty, uncertainty. People strive to be like others, and yet they also strive to be unique. Choices about originating occur with the reality of certainty. It is not possible to know all that may come from choosing to be different or from choosing to be like others. Transforming is the third concept of the third principle. Transforming is about the continuously changing and shifting views that people have about their lives. People are always struggling to integrate the unfamiliar with the familiar in the living of everydayness. Transforming is the ongoing change in characteristics, human universe, and human ingenuity as people find ways to change in the direction of their cherished hopes and dreams. So, next, the fundamental ideas about the theory will be discussed by Meghana.
The fundamental ideas about the theory and its assumption. So, the Rosemarie Parse has developed two main criteria for the theory, and it's about man, and second is about becoming. So, first of all, I'm going to discuss about man, and it's divided in 4 points, and it's coexisting. Second one is open, the third one is unitary, and the fourth one is transcending. About becoming, it's unitary, rhythmically co-constituting human, relating value priorities, intersubjective process, and the last one is unitary human emerging. There are 3 major assumptions of human becoming theory, and those are: first one is meaning. It's freely choosing personal meaning in situations in the intersubjective process of living value priorities. The second one is rhythmicity. It's co-creating rhythmical patterns of relating in mutual process with the universe. The third one is transcendence. Is transcending multidimensional with emerging possible. So there are also advantage and disadvantage of the theory. So the major strength which I have found is it differentiates nursing from other disciplines and provides guidelines of care and useful administration in for nursing practice. So far as the weakness is concerned, it does not utilize the nursing process or diagnosis. So the value and usefulness to nursing will be discussed by Angela.
The first one is to ability to see the patient's perspective allows the nurse to be with the patient and guide them towards desired health outcomes. The next one is the nurse-patient relationship co-creates changing health patterns. And the third one is it expands the theory of human becoming. And the last one is that it builds new nursing knowledge about human lived experiences, which may ultimately contribute to health, quality of life, and quality of nursing practice. Aligood stated that human becoming theory is a fitting guide for practitioners who want to create respectful partnerships with people seeking assistance with health and quality of life. Research with human becoming theory expands understanding about human living experiences and builds new knowledge about human becoming, which contributes to the substantive knowledge of the nursing discipline. Parse theory provides a perspective and field of possibilities for change and growth. Now we're finished with the Rosemarie Parse theory. We will be now moving on to the next theory, which is the theory of Kari Martinsen.
Okay, we're gonna start with Kari Martinsen background, and the theory is philosophy of caring. She was born January 20, 1943 in Oslo, Norway, and graduating at nursing in 1964, bachelor and master degree in psychology at the University of Oslo, and PhD in philosophy from the University of Bergen in 1984. Worked as associated professor at the Department of Health and Social Medicine at the University of Bergen. Employed at the university to establish master and PhD programs in nursing. Between 1976 to 1986 is a historical phase. She published several historical articles. And Martinsen published her own books like Caring Without Care in 1979 and History of Nursing in 1984. Worked on a variety of projects and published in several journals and anthologies.
I'm going to speak about Kari Martinsen philosophical underpinnings. So, Martinsen is reluctant to provide definition of terms, since definitions have a tendency to close off concepts. Rather, she maintains the concept of concept should be presented. It is important to circumscribe the meaningful content of a term, explain what the terms mean, but avoid having term locked up in definition. Care forms not only the value base of nursing, but is a fundamental precondition for our lives. Care is a positive development of the person through the good. Care is a trinity relational, practical, and moral simultaneously. Caring is directed outward toward the situation of the other. In professional context, caring requires education and training. Without professional knowledge, concern for the patients become mere sentimentality. It is clear that guardianship, negligence, or sentimentality are not expression of care. Professional judgment and discernment. These qualities are linked to the concrete. It is through the exercise of professional judgment in practical living contexts that we learn clinical observation. Moral practice is founded on care. So moral practice is when empathy and reflection work together in such a way that caring can be expressed in nursing. The morality is present in concrete situations and must be accounted for. Our actions need to be accounted for. They are learned and justified through the objectivity of empathy, which consists of empathy and reflection. Person-oriented professionalism. Person-oriented professionalism is to demand professional knowledge which affords the view of the patient as a suffering person and which protects his integrity. Sovereign life utterances. Sovereign life utterances are phenomena that accompany the creation itself. They exist as pre-cultural phenomena in all societies. They are present as potential. The untouchable zone is a term that refers that we must not interfere with encounters with others and encounters with nature. It refers to boundaries for which we must have respect. The untouchable zone creates a certain protective distance in the relation. It ensures impartiality and demands argumentation. Theory and professionalism. In caring, the untouchable zone is united with its opposite, which is openness, in which closeness, vulnerability, and motive have their correct place. Vocation is a demand life makes to me in a complete human way to encounter and care for one's fellow person. Vocation is given as a LWA of life concerning neighborly love, which is foundationally human. The eye of the heart. This is a concept stems from the parable of the Good Samaritan. The heart says something about the existence of the whole person, about being touched or moved by the suffering or the other and the situation the other experiences in sentience and perception. We are moved before. We understand, but we are also challenged by the afterthought of understanding. To see and be seen with the eye of the heart is a form of participation attention based on a reciprocation that unifies perception and understanding, in which the eye's understanding is led by the senses. The registering eye is objectifying, and the perspective is that of the observer. It is concerned with finding, connection, systemizing, ranking, classifying, and placing in a system. The registering eye represents an alliance between modern, natural, science, technology, and industrialization. If one as a patient is exposed to, or if one as a professional employs this gaze is a one-sided manner, compassion is lifted out of the situation and the will to life is reduced.
So Kari Martinsen has developed fundamental ideas about the theory. So the need to care may be conceived of as a basic element of care, where she stated that the care is trinity, because care is relational, care is practical, and care is moral. And this theory is mainly focuses on 4 criteria, and those are person, environment, health, and nursing. So far as advantage and disadvantage of the theory is concerned, we have noticed one major strength, and it's about care, where she mentioned that the care is universal. It clearly articulates and encompasses a precise formulation of how to understand and approach patient and nursing through reflection, practicing in different contexts. And so far as disadvantage is concerned, then the care is not mutual give and take.
The value and usefulness to nursing of this theory are the following. First, it is relevant for all patients who needs help and assistance. It interprets a situation of care as being contextual, emotionally laden, and particularistic in nature. It highlights the importance of noticing the need to care, which is to see, and it focuses on the importance of practical action in care, which is to express. Martinsen stated that care is to be concrete and present in a relationship by our senses and our bodies. She emphasized care as being basic to human existence and as human beings. We are basically dependent, and this dependency requires a human response in the form of care. Nurses must be able to recognize their patients' needs and to act accordingly, because caring is not only about being empathetic or being emotionally attached. The key differences between both theories. Rosemarie Parse nursing paradigm includes the following: person, environment, health, and nursing. First, she views a person as open being who is more than a different from the sum of the parts, while environment is everything in the person and his or her experiences. Health for her is open process of being and becoming, and it involves synthesis of values. Nursing for her is a human science and art that uses an abstract body of knowledge to serve people. The goal of her theory is it creates quality of life from each person's own perspective as the goal of the practice of nursing, and it focuses on the quality of life as it is described and lived. On the other hand, Martinsen's philosophy of nursing views a person as bodies that we relate to ourselves, to others, and to the world. For her, environment is a physical, material, and constructed place that we also share with other people. Health does not only reflect the condition of the organism, but it is also an expression of the current level of competence in medicine. For, according to Martinsen, nursing is found on caring for life, on neighborly love, and at the same time, it is necessary that the nurse is professionally educated. The goal of her theory is to have an equitable health care and living standards for all, and to arrive the best choices for action based on a rich situational understanding, professional insight, and a caring attitude.
Okay, for conclusion, human becoming theory is a journey in the art of science, a process of coming to know the world of human experience. That process germinated multidimensionally throughout life of being present to and conceptualizing the significance of discipline's mission of humankind. The main focus of this theory is on the human, with a constant connection between all concepts and themes, thus creating a continuous flow, changing and evolving interaction that is controlled by the human response with each connection. Care constitutes a fundamental precondition of our lives. As human beings, we are basically dependent, and this dependency requires a human response in the form of care. Care is to be concrete and present in a relationship by our senses and our bodies. It is always to be a movement away from ourselves and towards the other. Nursing is founded on caring for life, on neighborly love. At the same time, it is necessary that the nurse is professionally educated. The main ideas of human becoming theory is that it provides a foundation for understanding holistic nursing practice. It creates the opportunity to research profound dimension of the human experience, to participate in multidimensional healing. It promotes doing with people rather than doing to or doing for them. It makes a difference to human health and quality of life. It views nursing science as a significant process of dealing with the experiences of people. The following is the highlight of the philosophy of caring. A caring community is not dictatorial, nor is its society's passive extended arm. The caring community exists only to the extent that we struggle for its existence. We must form it ourselves through solidarity, through morally responsible action, through the fight for greater equality, and for community and social integration. Caring is an active and radical concept. Thank you for listening to our presentation. Any question, you can just email us, and thank you.